colleague, none other than Moses Kuria, the CS Public Service. Karibu.
Thank you, my brother, CEO CS Ezekiel, Prime Cabinet Secretary, my good friend, Chancellor, Professor Patrick, Professor Kiama, and all the wonderful professors here, ambassadors, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I'm here today for 3 reasons. And I'll be very brief because if you want to see me very humble, Jeff, it's when I'm in front of professors. Because somebody told me at my level of education, if I want to be a professor, I have to go back to school for another 14 years. And luckily, because I'm also a very experienced person, Ezekiel Machogu has a new policy called recognition of prior learning. So by that policy, he has promised to make me a professor, simply from that policy of prior learning. But I am here, first of all, as an alumni of this great university. Jeff is doubting whether I went to school. I want to confirm to Jeff that I not only went to university, but I went to the university. And that makes a whole difference. So as Isaac Renaola has said, the president, I am D-3, stroke 1310, stroke 90. Yeah? From the then only school of business in Eastern Central Africa. And I'm very proud. I must also say that I was a student leader in this university, and a very problematic one for that. I remember one time in 1992, I led students to some place in Nyandarua because we were told that some people who are doing something called ethnic clashes had come over there to Nyandarua. And then in our own simple, stupid, idealistic beliefs, I put students in one matatu, and we went to stop those people who were fighting. And then President Moi heard about it, so he sent the then DC for Nyandarua to arrest us and put us in. And as fate would have it, when the DC came, he looked at us, he wondered, who are these people who want to fight? We were so thin and emaciated. And he ordered that we be given bread and soda and milk, and we were sent back to the university. And that's how, I was able to complete my studies. That gentleman is standing on my left. And he's now my colleague, the CS for Education. So if he would have jailed me as Moi wanted, I would not be standing here today as a cabinet secretary for public service. So I'm very, very proud professor and chair and chancellor of this university, and I'm very proud to be associated with this great institution. Second thing, I'm here because I associate fully with the big five. I remember when the president appointed Professor Patrick, and because we were working together on other initiatives, and there was some problems. Government has some bureaucracies. And I remember I was out of the country, and I talked to my brother Machogu here, and I told him, look, we can't allow bureaucracy to stand in the way of this great appointment. And I talked to Professor that morning, and he was on the verge of giving up. I was also on the verge of giving up because some people wanted a Kenyan appointed for this position. And I was so determined. So I told him, just give me 5 minutes. So I picked the phone, I called the president, and I told the president, I'm giving you 2 check boxes in view of what is happening. Do we want a villager to villagenize the University of Nairobi? Or do you want a global person to globalize the University of Nairobi? And the president told me there is no way we can go back to the village. And that is how this gentleman was appointed finally, and the rest is history. So this journey to globalize this university it could not have come at a better time, be it on health matters, innovation, the AI, leadership, name it. These are topics which are very timely now, and Professor, I want, on behalf of the President and the government and everybody, to say that we are going to work with you, and we are going to support you in every way to realize your dream of making this university a great university. And that dream of making it number one in Africa is very, very, very realistic. Finally, I am here because to support this dream, my ministry is collaborating with the University of Nairobi in several ways. As Professor has mentioned, we are going to do a training of the Kenya School of Government, which is under me, with the University of Nairobi, specifically on two areas. One is on the Leadership Institute, because we want the government part of that Leadership Institute to come from the Kenya School of Government, and we are going to break that barrier to ensure that we work together. The other major area that we want to support this initiative is on the green jobs. My ministry is also responsible for the Huduma Kenya service, which is very popular. Last year, we served 13 million Kenyans through the Huduma centers, 52 of them. And now we just acquired private partnerships to enable us to scale up the Huduma centers. One of the areas we are scaling up is, I've discussed with my brother here, that we want to set up business process outsourcing centers, BPOs, and call centers in all the public universities, starting from the University of Nairobi. What this will do is that because we are going to work on offshore jobs, on green jobs, students working, who are in the University of Nairobi can now be able to work on our call centers, on our work study, and part of their salaries will be deducted to pay for their fees in support of the new financing scheme that Professor Machogu has put in place. Professor, I said Professor, because priorly, Professor Machogu. So, Professor Patrick, Chancellor, I want to really say that through these two initiatives, we are going to work hand in hand on green jobs, on the issue of leadership, because these big five must be a reality. As you may be aware or not aware, ladies and gentlemen, Professor Patrick is also the CEO of the Global Center on Adaptation. And the Global Center on Adaptation, they have got a wonderful headquarters in Rotterdam, in Netherlands. Now, we are taking, the Prime Cabinet Secretary, my boss who is here, and I are taking a paper to Cabinet to host the second headquarters for the Global Center on Adaptation here in Nairobi at the Kenya School of Government. And I am very, very proud of that development, because the Kenya School of Government is going to transform itself to an African School of Government. We already have MOUs with 23 African countries. And the head of AU, NEPAD, was here. We are in discussion of how we are going within the next 3 years to convert the Kenya School of Government to the Africa School of Government. And that is going to be very good for the University of Nairobi through this collaboration as we move together. So ladies and gentlemen, let me say that we have a chance. We have an opportunity to make history. We have an opportunity to do things differently from how they have been done. Let us all today strive to make this place. We cannot have the University of Nairobi the way it was when we were there. We have an opportunity now to work together, to make it a different place, and to really change humanity. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let me now request each and every one of us to be upstanding as we welcome the Prime Cabinet Secretary to be able to make his remarks. Tafadhali tumkaribishe na makofi. Yeah, thank you.
I'll see if I'll get the names right. Professor Patrick Van Coyen, the Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Education, Ezekiel Machogu, my friend Honorable Moses Kuria, the Chairman of the Council, Professor Mkoa Nangwe, the Vice Chancellor, Professor Stephen Kiama, Deputy Vice Chancellors, distinguished Council members, faculty members and heads of departments, members of the university community, Judge of the Supreme Court, Lenaola, diplomats who are here, Your Excellencies, our dear students, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. I'll be a bit formal so that this goes on record. It is a great honor to be here tonight at this Chancellor's dinner hosted by Professor Patrick Van Coyen. Let me just pause there and emphasize one or two things, or just touch on a few things. A few days ago, we were with President Ruto in Atlanta, and we had the chance to go to the CDC, the Center for Disease Control. And one of the things that came up was that the head of the institution was trying to pronounce my name. And there was a serious problem. Just the way his name gives us problems. And they ended up saying something like Mudadadi or something like that. So I realized the only way I could get out of it was to say, thank God, it was not a new disease. Because then it would have spread and people would be wondering, what is this new disease that the CDC has discovered? But on a more serious note, as you are talking about being the chair of the Wangare Maathai Foundation, and I think the daughter is somewhere, she's still here?